Let's read today's Murli, today's Avyakt Murli, which is dated 20th February 1987. And we are reading it today on 29th November 2025. Let me share the Murli before we begin. Yeah. So here we are. Is the Murli visible on the screen?
Yes,
And
Sombai.
is the audio okay? Volume?
Yes, Sombai, yes.
Okay. So this is 20th February 1987 Avyakt Murli. It's a beautiful Avyakt Murli titled The Three Lines of Remembrance, Purity, and Being a True Server. Remembrance, the constant remembrance, purity, complete purity, and serving is true serving, true server, being a true server. So this three in this beautiful Murli Bab Dada has brought out this Trimurti Tilak is being on the foreheads of all children. And then there's the number wise, these three lines on the forehead are number wise in terms of various aspects of each of them, which Baba has elaborated in detail. Where, for example, the first line, that constant remembrance, whether it is constant remembrance, whether it's a straight line, whether the remembrance is direct with the Supreme Father or it's through the instrument soul, that means it's a direct or indirect, and then whether the love of all relationships is like constant, all relationships is experienced from the Father or only a few relationships. These are the aspects for the first line, and then there are various aspects about the purity, whether the purity is constant, means brahmachari plus brahmachari, both are essential, not just brahmachari, but also brahmachari, means following Baba's footsteps, Brahma Baba's footsteps, actions in every step. And then Baba said that companion and company, both of Supreme Father, ensures complete purity. Thereafter, Baba brought out how to be a true server. What are the characteristics of a true server? So that also Baba brought out in quite detail. A true server is a soul who is free from all obstacles. The obstacles do come, but he is in such an elevated stage that he constantly attains success. He is constantly having a constant being intellect, attitude, and he performs pure actions. So, without further ado, let's read the Murli. Let's be seated. Let's visualize this Trimurti Tilak on the forehead. Let's be in the soul consciousness stage that I, the soul, sparkling on the forehead and the three lines of my fortune. One is the remembrance. It's constant, straight, direct of the Supreme Father, and the purity, line of purity, which is complete, and then the line of being a true server, which is also very clear, sparkling on my forehead. The three lines of remembrance, purity, and being a true server. Today, the Father, the world server, who is loving to all, has come to meet his children who are always serving. Bapdada the server loves his children who are servers, equal to him all the time, all time. Today, Baba is especially seeing the three lines sparkling on the forehead of all the server children. Each one's forehead is sparkling like a Trimurti tilak. What are these three lines a sign of? From this Trimurti tilak, the present result of each child can be seen. Underline. The present result of each child can be seen from this Vibhuti Tilak. One is the line of a complete yogi life, Sampurna Yogi Jivan. Second is the line of purity, Pavitrata, wo bhi Sampurna Pavitrata. The third line is that of a true server, Sache Sevadhari. Baba was seeing the result of all three lines of all the children. Everyone's line of remembrance is sparkling, but number-wise. The lines of some have been unadulterated from the beginning to now, beginning, middle, and end. That is, they have always been lost in the love of one. Secondly, has it always been unbroken? Has the line always been straight? That is, has there always been the love of all relationships and directly with the Father? All relationships and directly with the Father? Or did you experience yourself to have forged a relationship with the Father through instrument soul? Do you have the direct support of the Father, or do you experience the Father's support through the support of another soul? These are the pertinent questions which we shall ask during the churning session. One are those whose lines are straight, and the others are those whose lines are a little crooked in between. These are the specialties of the line of remembrance. Now coming to the second line. Second is the line of complete purity, Sampurna Pavitrata. This too is number-wise. Babdada said, one is that as soon as you took Brahmin birth, you received the blessing of Brahmin life. What we received? We received the blessing of the complete purity. This as soon as we took birth in the Brahmin clan. The special blessings from the Father, and you experienced this blessing in your life constantly and easily. This line is straight from the beginning until now. Others do not experience the blessings of this Brahmin life in the form of a right, adhikar. They sometimes adopt it easily and at other times with a lot of hard work and effort. Sometimes children experience the blessing of the complete purity in this Brahmin life in the form of a right. They are righteous soul. Sometimes they adopt it, that is righteous means easily, and other times with a lot of hard work, struggle, and efforts. Their line is not always straight and sparkling. In fact, the basis of success in remembrance and service is purity. Underline. The basis of success in remembrance and service is purity. So purity becomes the middle line, which is the basis of top and the bottom line. That is. remembrance, and being a true server. Purity is not just about being celibate, but the complete form of purity is that together with being celibate, brahmachari, you also have to be one who follows Father Brahma, brahmachari. Brahmachari means those who follow the activities of Father Brahma. This is known as follow Father because you have to follow Father Brahma. You have to become equal to Father Shiva in your state, but you have to follow Father Brahma in your activities and your actions. Both activities and actions, when we follow Father Brahma, then it becomes Brahmachari. And in Brahmachari, the stage is equal to Father Shiva. That is complete soul consciousness stage. No iota of body consciousness. That is being celibate. So be celibate at every step. Observe the vow of celibacy constantly in your thoughts and also your dreams. The meaning of purity is constantly to make the Father your companion and always to stay in the Father's company. So the two keywords here Barbara has brought out, companion and company. Constantly make the Father as your companion, soulmate, and always to stay in the Father's company, soulmate's company. Have you made him your companion? Let's ask this question in words. Have I made him, that is the Supreme Father, my companion or my soulmate? It is essential to feel Baba is mine, Mera Baba hai. It is essential to feel this, Baba is mine, but also at all times to have only the Father's company, but to experience His company all times is what is required. This is called complete purity, Sampurna Pavitrata, the company of a gathering and the codes of conduct of the love of the family are a different matter, and that too is essential. However, do not forget that you have the company of the love of the family because of the Father. And the Father not being there, then such family, such divine family wouldn't have existed. You have the love of the family, but whose family is it? The Father's. Where would the family come from if it weren't the Father? The love of the family and the gathering of the family are very good, but do not forget the seed of the family. Who is the seed of the family? That is Shiva Baba, God Supreme Godfather, Shiva. You sometimes forget the Father and seek the company of the family. If every now and again you leave the Father, there is then an empty space in between and Maya will enter it. Therefore, while living with everyone with love and while having an exchange of love, do not forget the Father, the gathering, community. So, do not forget the seed. That is called purity. You are all clever at understanding, are you not? That's the question Baba has brought out to deeply understand these deep secrets of how to have complete purity. Some children find it hard work to move forward to the stage of complete purity, and that is why they have this thought now and then of making someone their companion, some instrument soul as their companion. They also have the thought that it is essential to have someone's company. You don't have to become a sannyasi, but do not forget the Father's company while staying in the company of souls. Baba says, Nyara and Pyara. Be in the company of all souls, the family souls, but do not forget in the intellect, the Father's company. Otherwise, at a time of need, you will remember that soul's company and forget the Father. When the time of examination will come, when the paper will come, then you will remember that soul's company or where you have a dependency, Aadhaar, and forget the Father, seed. So you can be deceived at a time of need. This is because if you have the habit of taking the support of physical bodily beings, you will remember the bodily beings first, and you will remember the Avyakt Father and the incorporeal Father later. If at any time you remember the support of corporeal beings first, then that becomes number one and the Father becomes number two. If we make instrument souls or the other souls or the any kind of objects as the dependency or the support, or any corporeal being as a support, then that becomes number one and the Father becomes number two. So, what status would you receive if you kept the Father as a number two? Would it be number one or two? Simply to take cooperation or to be loving is a different matter from making someone your support. This is something very deep, the deep secret Baba is bringing out, very subtle point. You have to understand this point accurately. In some gatherings, instead of being loving, you become detached. You are afraid that you might get trapped, and so you think it would be better to keep yourself at a distance. But no, you have to live in a household and with a family for 21 births, do you not? So, if you keep yourself at a distance because of fear and become isolated, then those become the sanskars of a karma sannyasi, one who is trying to become isolated from the actions, trying to become isolated because of the fear, keeps a distance from the family. That becomes karma sannyasi. You have to become karma yogi, not karma sannyasi. Although you have to remain in a gathering and be loving, you must let the one Father and none other be the support for your intellect. So who shall be the support for your intellect? The Supreme Father, none other. No soul's company, virtue, or speciality should attract your intellect. That is a very deep point. No soul's company, virtue, or speciality should attract your intellect. That is called complete purity. When you find that purity is hard work, it proves that you have not taken the blessing you received at birth from the Father, the bestower of blessing. A blessing doesn't require labor. Every Brahmin soul has received the first blessings of Brahmin life. May you be pure, may you be a yogi. Pavitra bhav, yogi bhav. So ask yourself, have I received the blessing of purity or have I adopted purity by working hard? Remember that this is your Brahmin birth. It isn't just a transformed life, but it is a life that has been transformed on the basis of a Brahmin birth. Birth is the the game-changing event which has happened, the Brahmin birth in our lives. Baba Baba says that her life has been transformed on the basis of this Brahmin birth, divine birth. Sanskars of birth are very easy and natural. There's a natural nature. So you also have, say this amongst yourself, my sanskars have been like this from birth. The sanskars of a Brahmin birth, may you be. This is a blessing and also your original sanskar. Two things are essential in life. One is a companion and the other is company. That is why the Trikaldarshi Father, one who knows the beginning, middle, and the end, the past, present, and the future. Trikaldarshi Father, knowing everyone's needs, becomes your best companion and also gives you the best company. The intellect is always the best company. The foreign children especially need both of these. That is why Bab Dada gave you the experience of the companion from the moment you took Brahmin birth. He made you into brides, soul brides, spiritual brides. You found your companion as soon as you took birth, did you not? Have you found your companion or are you still looking for him? Therefore, experience purity as your original sanskar. Underline the word original. That is called an elevated line, which is sparkling on your forehead. Strong, is it not? Purity is the foundation of remembrance and being a true server. So this purity foundation is strong, is it not? That we need to check. The third line is that of a true server. Now we are coming to the third line of this Murli Title on the forehead of being a true server. There is also the line of a server on everyone's forehead. You can't stay without doing service. Service is the means to make Brahmin life constantly free from obstacles. And it is also in service that you have more test papers. What is a service? Service is the means to make Brahmin life constantly free from obstacles. It's not the obstacle. Service is not the obstacle. But service is the means to be free from obstacles. And it is also in service that you have more test papers to get qualified and get promoted to the next level. A server who is free from obstacles is said to be a true server. Underline, a server who is free from obstacles is said to be a true server. It is fixed in the drama for obstacles to come. They have to come and they will continue to come because these obstacles or test papers make you experienced. आपको अनुभवी बनाते हैं. What do the obstacles do? How the obstacles of the test papers are beneficial? They make the soul experienced. Do not consider it to be an obstacle. Baba is giving us a paradigm shift in our attitude towards these obstacles. Do not consider it to be an obstacle, but look at it with a feeling that you are being made to progress by your experience, and you will then experience it to be a ladder of progress. You will jump to the next level, next trajectory. You have to move ahead even more through this because service means a gathering from where you experience blessings from all souls. सर्वात्माओं की दुआएं अनुभव होती हैं. Where you experience blessings from all souls. Service is a means to receive blessings from everyone. If you look at it in this way and with this attitude, you will always experience yourself to be moving forward as an authority of experience. Do not consider an obstacle to be an obstacle. Underline this. And do not consider the soul who has been instrumental for the obstacle to be a soul who brings obstacles. Underline this as well. But consider that soul to be your teacher to make you experienced. Consider these souls, such type of souls, to be your teacher to make you experienced. Since you say that the one who defames you is your friend, then the one who makes you pass through obstacles and makes you experienced is your teacher, is he not? He taught you a lesson, did he not? Nowadays, you have doctors who make you do exercises to remove illness. Initially, it hurts you to do these exercises. Physiologist, the one who makes you do some exercises to remove illness, physiotherapist. Initially, it hurts you to do these exercises, but that pain makes you free from pain for all time. However, those who do not understand this deeply cry out in pain, saying that they are being given even more pain, even though the cure is merged in that pain, in that process. In the same way, the form may be that of an obstacle, the external form of the face may be that of an obstacle, and that soul may appear to be a soul who brings obstacles. But that soul becomes instrumental to make you overcome obstacles and makes you unshakable for all time. Underline the deep secret Baba that is sharing. That is why a soul who is free from obstacles is said to be a true servant. Those who have such an elevated line are called true servers. Then we shall read the last page of today's part of the Murli. Then we shall take the second part tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Bhagavad says to have a constantly clean intellect, a clean attitude, and to perform pure action is an easy way to attain success in service. This is another deep secret Baba is sharing. What are the ways, what are the means, what are the ways to attain success in service, or in fact, success in any endeavor? One, to have a constantly clean intellect. Two, a clean attitude. And three, perform pure action, purity in action. Before you begin any service, first of all, check whether there is the slightest awareness of anything of the past instead of cleanliness. So if there is the slightest awareness of anything of the past, then that means there is some garbage, some unwanted dirt or dust in the intellect instead of cleanliness. So if there is, your way of seeing and speaking to that soul will be with that attitude and vision. So your attitude and vision also gets corrupted. If the intellect is corrupted, then the attitude and vision also gets adversely affected. You will then be unable to achieve the complete success that you would have by doing service with cleanliness. To finish all the things of the past and all the different attitudes is cleanliness. So, put a full stop to the past. Past is already cast. Focus on the present and the future. So, finish all the things of the past and all the different attitudes is cleanliness. So, check and change. So, this we'll take it as one of the homework from the today's part of the Murli. We shall check our intellect. See if anything of the past which is unwanted, still lingering, If it is still lingering, then we need to finish it off, put a full stop. Even to think about the past is a slight sin to some percentage. Even thoughts create a world, and to speak about something is an even bigger thing. This is because even by just having those thoughts, the awareness of those old thoughts makes the world and the atmosphere like that. So our thoughts make the world, and the world and the atmosphere becomes in sync with our thoughts. You then say, whatever I said happened, did it not? But why did it happen at the first place? Your weak and wasteful thoughts actually created that world of a wasteful atmosphere. Very important. Therefore, a true server is one who finishes even old vibrations, any weak or wasteful thoughts. Scientists, Bob Dada is giving a practical example from this world that where we observe scientists destroy weapons with weapons, that is missile with another missile, and they use an aeroplane to make another one crash again. They use fighter jets, fighter planes to make another fighter plane crash. When they are at war, they finish one another off completely. So your pure vibrations can make pure vibrations emerge and finish wasteful vibrations. This is the power of pure vibrations. Thoughts can finish other thoughts. एक संकल्प दूसरे संकल्प को फिनिश कर सकता है. One powerful thought can finish so many wasteful thoughts. So if your thoughts are powerful, then powerful thoughts will definitely finish wasteful thoughts. Do you understand? You first of all need cleanliness. That is the power of purity in service. So again, purity is the foundation for being a true servant. That's what Baba is highlighting in this paragraph. Baba is seeing these three lines sparkling. Which are the three lines? The constant remembrance, complete purity, and being a true servant. So we'll take a pause here because other part, the second part of this Murli will be taken day after tomorrow. Om Shanti. We shall come back after 1 minute for the churning session. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. So now I would invite every soul who is connected online today can share the churning, the perspective, or how to implement in the practical life the aspects which Baba Vamdada brought out from today's part of the Murli, which is titled The Three Lines of Remembrance, Purity, and Being a True Server. Sri Murti Tilak. So before you can share, I would just read this. Meanwhile, I would read this chat box where Girja sister has brought out. Vishwa Sevadhari looks at constant, accurate servers. Vishwa Sevadhari looks at constant, accurate servers. Three unbroken straight lines. First line, a full yogi life, Sampurna Yogi Jivan. Second line, complete purity, Sampurna Pavitrata. And third line, being a true server, Sache Sevadhari. So the underlying thing that which Peter Sister brought out is need a clean intellect, a clean off. So we can churn on what is a clean intellect and a
Om
clean
Shanti.
attitude. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Divine Family. And Baba said the complete true server is one who is obstacle free. And obstacle free, we have to become means server, the purity. Baba talk about the purity. And the purity is when it's a connection. It's three line, three murti. The three line is it's interconnected. Yes, suppose purity. It's purity means when you and thought in your intellect, it's clear. It's a purity, and intellect is clear. There is a no old thoughts, old sanskars, and that one powerful thoughts, it's to destroy all your negative thoughts, no thinking of past, this is purity. And the companion and the company, constant remembrance, and with the constant company, yeah, obstacle free, and also a purity, what the Brahma Baba, and with Brahma Baba is the first soul. And what in his action and what in an activities he has done, so that we have to follow father and become like a Shiv Baba. So that I got the message. So thank you very much, thank you Mahaba and this Divine Family, thank you very much. It's clarifying this. I got this deep connection. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Baba, for sharing such insights into the Murli and covering various vital aspects from the Murli.
also
Thank you, Baba.
also also
Yeah.
also also get the blessings, and whatever divine family we get and the connection we get, it is due to Baba, Brahma Baba, Shiv Baba, and so thankful to all of you and all Brahmin family, all divine family, and very wonderful that's blessings and all these things. And thank you all. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Baba. Thank you, Kalpesh Bhai. May I invite others also to please share? Yeah. These are just
This when Baba just mentioned three lines. For me, being a Shaivite, I only remember the three lines of Vibhuti, ash, which my father used to really very meticulously, before starting any ritual or prayer, apply it on the forehead. Or if you are a Vaishnavite, even there are three lines, but the two lines are like a U, and the third line is a middle line which goes down beneath to the beginning of the nose. But this three is there in every religion: Trinity, name of the Father, Holy Spirit, and the Son. So that's Trinity is also there. So I don't know, I just got immediately touch to that. But it is the Trishul, the three action of Shiva, which was manifested over there. Like they say, it's Ichya Shakti, Gyan Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. So, but here you see Baba on our forehead. And if you see the heading of the Murli is accurate server. It's the accurate server looking at the constant server. For that, he has just given three: yog, purity, and true server. So I was just connecting myself to the symbols which we have seen in rituals and how Baba really interprets it in a very different way. And too deep it is, which cannot just be churned in a line. Especially today, Baba has gone deep on the middle line, what we call it as the line of purity. And if you see even the middle line in Hinduism, it's Gyan Shakti. So there's a lot really to go through that. And then, of course, he says you need a clean intellect for it. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Giza sister, for bringing that out, and you so beautifully connecting to the rituals which we have observed in the Bhakti Kal, and how, and this all brings so much intoxication as to how we were observing these rituals, but the sad part was that we did not understand the true meaning, the spiritual significance behind these three lines or the three Murti Tilak. So now Bab Dada has brought out that deep secret in front of us, and we are now experiencing the deep intoxication. Thank you. Now we can go on to some more churning. What is clean intellect? How do you define a clean intellect? Which is the basis for clean attitude and clean actions? How do we define clean intellect on the basis of today's Murli, on the basis of Bab Dada's sharing today?
That's
So I
purity,
think,
line of purity.
Yeah, true.
yeah, and
Very correct. Yeah, which is where you may also share. Yeah.
yeah, so I think that cleanness comes when you are able to finish all your past memories and your past impression or any sort of a bad attitude that you have or anything wasteful, basically. So when you are in a stage where you can finish, you know, all this in a second, that's where I suppose your intellect is clean intellect, right? And then and other Murlis Baba says that clean intellect is, there's no slightest of vice, right? So this is also a vice if you look at it, carrying old memories or any sort of a bad sanskar or attitude. Anything wasteful is, of course, adding it is a stain, right? For the clarity will be lost. So that was something. And beside that, I also wanted to share about the line of complete yogi life that Baba really took us today. That the companion and support. So it's really profound. I found it because one father and one support, one company, right? So that's the ultimate aim of a yogi life, right? So Baba said we can think whether am I taking the first support of a person or am I thinking Baba at the first place. So if it is first support is of the human being, then the remembrance is crooked. It is not the direct one. Then the status is also reduced for such um, such yogis. And Baba is looking forward to have an unbroken remembrance, a direct, connections with the Father, not going through any human instruments at the first place. So that's the highest level of purity. If I'm able to sustain with one but none, right, in our yogi life, then yes, we will be succeeded, or I think we will reach the purity level that Baba expect from us, I suppose. Yeah. Thank you, Om Shanti.
Yeah, thank you, Rakesh sister and Vijit bhai. Both of you have brought out very true the definition of a clean intellect. It's the viceless stage, and vice can comprise of the past thoughts, words, or sanskars, the old sanskars which are unwanted actually, wasteful, wasteful thoughts, wasteful words we would have spoken or heard, or any wasteful content we would have received knowingly or unknowingly of the past, that needs to be clean. And the vidhi is put a full stop. Just put a full stop and go beyond it. Move forward, put a full stop. So,
Mumbai, just to add one line to this. See,
yeah,
Baba has used the word clean intellect, that is buddhi, because intellect is the one which decides. He never used the word about clean mind and all over here. So, intellect decides, and drishti and smriti affects your vritti. For the seven, it's a very long list. Here we are just talking about one past because then my intellect becomes fogged. It is foggy. Then I cannot bring the father in the foggy. He needs absolute clarity. See, one word in yesterday's Sakar Murli, I don't know whether it was blessing. Jahan, if you look at the weakness of others also, that is impurity. So, jahan batein hai, वहां बाप नहीं है वहां सिर्फ पाप है so even I was thinking bate bap and pap so that is also looking at so it's a long list this clean intellect one such thing is looking at the waste thought is what he mentions in the Murli but also looking at the weakness and varnan karna unka that also makes the intellect foggy.
true. Very, very true. Good sharing. And next, we can also bring out other souls may also participate and share. There's so many interesting examples Baba brought out, aspects Baba brought out, like a doctor. Anyone would like to share what Baba Dada brought out regarding a doctor and how, in what context? Physiotherapist Baba brought out. What does he do? Physiotherapist means Baba brought out something now about a doctor performs exercises. Suppose there's some illness, then the doctor performs some exercises to remove that illness. So initially it hurts, it is painful, but actually, what is the understanding? The cure is merged in that pain. Ami Ben has
Yeah, right.
shared. Uh, yeah, you may also speak or share on the chat box, either way. Ami, sister, meanwhile, has shared on the chat box is that I read, my remembrance must be direct with Baba. Yeah, that's one beautiful aspect actually, which Vijit Bhai also brought out while sharing about that first line of remembrance. That there are three aspects: direct, straight line. The remembrance must be direct with Baba, not through via. It should be direct. I will train myself to go to Baba first, not to people. Yeah, because that's the real, dependency that we can take it as a homework today. Which all souls I am dependent on to connect with Baba. Actually, there should not be any dependency. I should directly be able to connect with Baba. Uh, no soul will be my emotional backup. Yeah, that's shared exactly the point which Baba was bringing out. The emotional backup or emotional support, emotional dependencies. Practice this line. I go to Baba before I go to anyone. Absolutely. Thank you, Mami sister, for bringing that line, deep sharing. And then Girja sister also brought out जहाँ की बातें हैं वहाँ बाप, हाँ या जहाँ बातें हैं वहाँ बाप नहीं, वहाँ पाप है. ये yesterday Murli had brought out this, Sakar Murli. So batein means anything which is unwanted is a baat. And that is what I need to endeavor, that I put a full stop to that. In pain is cure and obstacles I become unshakable. So any more sharing? Then as we go to the churning and the meditation session, I would request anyone more, Premila sister, Revati sister, you may share something on chat box or just speak directly. Unmute yourself and you may speak. Any point which has touched you or any point which you need some clarification from today's part of the Murli. So, 3 lines Baba brought out and various deep aspects about each of these 3 lines. Remembrance, there are various aspects Baba brought out about remembrance. It should be unadulterated, unbroken, should be straight, it should involve all relationships with the Father, not just 1, 2, or 10, but unlimited relationships with Father. And then there shouldn't be any support or the dependency. So the key point is the basis of success is remembrance and service is purity. The middle line is, you can see, middle line is connected with the top line as well as the bottom line. So middle line is the center. It's the basis of both the remembrance line and the service true server line. That's point to be noted. And we shall take one homework task today. Meanwhile, you can think of what to share. There are 2 tasks which we are taking from the today's Murli. The first task is check. Where have you kept the Father? Number 1, always number 1, or sometimes number 1, sometimes number 2. My intellect, where have I kept the Father? That is first task. We shall do it, and then day after tomorrow, we shall churn on our experience. What happens when we keep the Father as number 1, and what happens when we keep the Father as number 2? We keep some other souls as number 1. That is task number 1. The task number 2, does my intellect have any support other than my Father? Like any soul's company, any virtue of some soul, any speciality of any soul in the family, in the Brahmin family. So that also we'll check today. Does my intellect wander or have any support or any attraction other than my Father? This is the second task. And third interesting activity I shall give, if you willing. Third activity is list any 5 activities where we can experience the spiritual law in daily routine. What is that spiritual law? That thoughts can finish thoughts. If your thoughts are powerful, one powerful thought, a determined thought, can finish many, many wasteful thoughts. So this is the third activity we shall perform. List out any 5 activities from day-to-day routine where we shall experience this, or we have experienced this spiritual law. Om Shanti. So that's there's some sharings. Let me read, then we shall go to the meditation session. In pain is the Baba, universal physiotherapist. Yeah. And I think I would say every obstacle is a physiotherapist, isn't it? Every test taker is a physiotherapist for me. I am having some slightest illness. The slightest illness will also get cured. I will become completely pure. That soul or the obstacle which has come in front of me is a physiotherapist. Pain for the short term, but gain in the long term. So have this understanding. Let's move on to the meditation. One minute. Just close your eyes and observe the sparkling star in the center of the forehead, a divine light radiating from the star in all directions. Then look at the forehead, where I, the soul, the sparkling star is sparkling. There are three lines, very distinct lines. Trimurti Tilak, which is distinct radiance, brilliance, brightness, sparkling on my forehead. First line is that of complete yogi life. Complete remembrance, constant remembrance of the Father. Second line of purity, the complete purity in my life, even at the thoughts and the dreams level. I am a complete pure soul. Celibacy as well as follow Father. And the third line is of that of being a true server. I'm a spiritual server, like a son, always serving through remembrance and purity. Always being success, always being obstacle free. I'm in my Father's company. Father is my companion, number one companion. Always number one, all the time. Every way and every day. I'm a karma yogi, not a karma sannyasi. I'm with the family, cherishing every moment of the divine family, but deep intellect level, I'm in the company of the Supreme Father. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, Baba. See you all tomorrow at 5 a.m. for the special class. Vijit bhai, any announcement to be made? You can make any announcement.
Yeah, so tomorrow is a buffer day, so we have a master class scheduled. The Murli that which we read, the first the first Murli that we read on 87 years, so that is 18th January Murli. Karmadit stay, the sign of Karmadit stays. That Murli. Saurabh Bhai will be taking a master class on this, so request everyone to join and take complete benefit of the session. Yeah. Thank you. Over to Ami Ben for closing the session now. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Om Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a beautiful day.